Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. Working backwards alphabetically, we're on letter W, and now it's time for Wagner. Now, even if you don't like Wagner, you're going to wind up as a collector with a Wagnerian collection of Wagner. A big, long, huge pile of stuff. And here it is. It's a whole square footage of this large storage bin, and we're going to get through it as quickly as we can, and just so you know what's out there. It's just incredible how this stuff accumulates, because everybody does it, and all the greatest artists did it. You don't want to get rid of it because the greatest artists did it, but that doesn't mean you want to listen to it either, and so it winds up in the Overflow room, where I'll have it in case for some reason I should need it. All right, so here we go. And a lot of this stuff got down here because it was repackaged. And I could cull it. I really could. I could get rid of it and still not lose anything. At some point I may do it, but that takes time. Sometimes a Wagnerian length of time. You know what I mean? And I don't always have a Wagnerian length of time. So, I'd rather be doing these videos than wasting time just mowing through this stuff. But at some point I'm going to have to make myself do it. No question about it. Okay, the Barenboim Parsifal. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. But it's in the Barenboim Wagner Opera box. Or more than one of them. Who knows? So the single thing goes there. And of course, these complete sets I tend to hang on to because they come with libretti. And you want to have the librettos if you can. Not that other sets don't have them, but you kind of want them to be next to the performance you happen to be listening to, right? Isn't that it? So Rienzi with Heinrich Hollreiser, pardon me. And let's see, René Kolos, Siv Venberg, Nicholas Hillebrand, Janice Martin, Theo Adams, Siegfried Vogel. I mean, this was like the only professional version of Rienzi you could ever get your hands on for like a million years. So you had to have it. And so I have it. There you go. Die Walküre with Furtwängler, his studio one, with Martha Mödel, Leonie Rieseneck doing the scream, Ludwig Sudhaus, Ferdinand Franz, Margareta Klose, Gottlob Frick, and a bunch of Valkyries screaming and shrieking. It's not bad sound. It's not a bad performance. Most people prefer his La Scala and RAI recordings because of the Brunhilde, because you don't have Martha Mödel. You have Kirsten Flagstad or someone like that, So, Mödel is okay, but she's not that material. Let's not kid ourselves. Okay. Next big pile. No little pile. Die Walküre Act 3 with Schulte in the Vienna Phil. This was like a prelude to the actual Ring, and it's with Kirsten Flagstad and Otto Edelmann and Marianne Scheck and Oda Balsburg and Ilona Steingruber and, and a bunch of screaming women doing the Valkyries. This is a Decca. It's one of the oldies, oldie but goodie from 1957. And then we've got Tristan. Why do I have this? Oh, was this the first ever recorded one in 1928 with Karl Elmendorf? With Gunnar Garud and Nanny Larsen Todsen and Annie Helm and Rudolf Böckelmann and the Bayreuth Festival from 28. I don't care. Just don't. But it's there because it's historical. Reiner conducts Wagner. It's in the Reiner box. It's wonderful. It's all we need to know. Yes, the Dorati Flying Dutchman with Giorgio Tozzi and Leonie Rieseneck and Rosalind Elias and Carl Liebel. This is very good. And George London, who is a little wobbly as the Hollander. His voice didn't last too long, actually. And we get, let's see. Okay. These are all Wagner orchestral music things. And we're going to run through them, let's see, fairly quickly. Overtures and Preludes. Chicago Barenboim. Carl Böhm. Toscanini, of course. Glenn Gould plays the Siegfried Idyll, the slowest thing you've ever heard in your life, 24 minutes and 29 seconds. And piano transcriptions of Meistersinger Götterdämmerung and another Siegfried Idyll, just as slow. The Ring Without Words on Telarc. Highlights from the Ring with Made in New York Phil. Raphael Kubelik does Wagner orchestral music. 2 discs of Klemperer doing Wagner. Okay, those all go that way. Hi, honey. You're in the way. Would you mind? Come here. Thank you. She was in the way. Come here. Oh, come here, yeah. You want to say hello? Come here, honey. This is Finster, of course, who you've met. She's quite friendly. Yeah, she wants to get away. She doesn't like being picked up. I know. Okay. Go ahead. All right. None of them like being picked up yet. They're only 6 months old or so. No, they were 5 months when we got them. They're about, so right now they're 8 months old. 90 days. 4 more months of growth. We'll see what turns up. All right. Then we've got Carion doing excerpts. Reginald Goodall doing excerpts in English. These things with Alberto Remedios and Rita Hunter, and those are great singers. Slow, dreary conducting. He was such an amateur, Goodall was. Ormandy doing highlights from the ring. Furtwängler doing Vienna, Lucerne, Wagner excerpts. More Toscanini. Zell, fabulous, of course. Orchestral music, Charles Gerhardt, the National Philharmonic on Chesky. Ooh, juicy. More Barenboim in Chicago. This is Chicago, right? Yeah. And this one is, the Staatskapelle Dresden with Hiroshi Wakasugi. I just talked about this. This is a wonderful record. Absolutely wonderful. And Wagner for orchestra with Jesus Lopez Cobos. So this is Cincinnati Symphony on Telearch. Charles Munch. This has Eileen Farrell doing the prelude and doing the Liebestod and the immolation scene. It's really, really good. She's wonderful. And now it's back to the bin for the next row of Wagner. All right, here we go. Historical things. Mengelberg doing Wagner stuff, and Strauss Don Juan, and the Mahler Adagietto, and this is like an essential Mengelberg thing. It's on Naxos, so Naxos Historical. Opus Cura, the famous Lehmann Melchior Vienna Philharmonic Walküre Act 1 complete and Act 2 highlights with Bruno Walter. A nice scratchy 78 sound. Winterstorm. Okay. Wagner, opera preludes and things with Karl Muck. This is from 1927 to 1929. A wonderful old-style Wagner performance with plenty of vibrato, I might add. Siegfried Wagner conducts his dad on Archipel. You've got all kinds of excerpts in the usual goodies. He was a terrible conductor of his father's music. He didn't really care about it at all, I don't think. And then we've got Tristan and Isolde, the abridged edition. Oh, that's the one we just had with Karl Elmendorf. It was supervised by Siegfried. It didn't say that on the other one, but it was. It's only 2.5 hours of it. Yes, it's fine with me. Parsifal, the complete Karl Muck Parsifal recordings on Naxos. See, I've got all this historical stuff. Those of you who think I don't know my Wagner, I do. I have heard all of this stuff, and I know it, and it's in the Overflow room for a reason. What's this one? Tannhäuser from Bayreuth 1930 with Elmendorf. There, that'll teach you. Wagner, Tristan and Isolde with Carlos Kleiber from Bayreuth 1974 with Brilliant, Ligenza, Ivan Mitten, Kurt Moll, and people like that. Who's Tristan? Yeah, Brilliant, there we go. And who's Merlot? Heribert Steinbach. Okay, so there you go. This was on Opera Doro, or whatever that strange label was that Allegro released. Yeah, okay, pirate things. Walter does Wagner. These are beautiful performances by someone who really knew what to do. And he does the Tannhäuser Venusberg Ballet. That's why I've always hung on to that, because it's just a great performance. And it's sort of hard to find the Venusberg Ballet. It doesn't get done. The overture gets done, but not the Venusberg Ballet, which is like one of Wagner's big orchestral pieces, purely orchestral pieces. Okay, the Joachim Meister Singer. It's wonderful, except, as everyone says, for Katharina Ligenza as Ava. She ain't no Ava. No, she isn't. Wagner. Oh, this is Wagner Dreck collection. The Polonia Overture, Rule Britannia, American Centennial March. That's a hoot. And the Imperial March with the Hong Kong Philharmonic under Varujan Kojian. This was recorded back in 1983 on Marco Polo, I remember, and re-released on Naxos. God, for all I know, the Marco Polo one is still in there. It's entirely possible. Tristan with Furtwängler, Flagstad, Sudhaus, those people. I just put this down here in the Overflow room because, well, I don't listen to it very often. And it was reissued also as a super budget thing. So I have that one upstairs. What's this thing? Oh, Wagner orchestral music and other bits with Flagstad and Furtwängler. This is the EMI mono. It's 2 discs worth of bleeding chunks. Valkyrie Act 1, Bruno Walter. Oh, we get another one of those in addition to the Opus Cura one. That was the canonical EMI release. Die Meistersinger with Karajan and the Staatskapelle Dresden. It's a very good Meistersinger, but I really have it for the Staatskapelle Dresden because, it's such a wonderful orchestral score, Meistersinger. It really is. I just listen to it without paying any attention to the voices. And I just listen to it's contrapuntally interesting and mellifluous, and it just makes great background music, actually. But the Staatskapelle Dresden has such a fabulous sound in that music. It's transparent and beautiful and lovely. And okay, Fritz Reiner conducts Wagner and Strauss Don Juan. This is a little different. This is a little bit different from the other Fritz Reiner conducts Wagner and sitting over there. Wagner opera overtures with a Czech fill and Konvichny. Oh, this was fun. And you get Till Eulenspiegel as well. You get Meistersinger, Tristan and Isolde overture, not the Liebes, not the Taut, just the Liebes. And Tannhäuser and Flying Dutchman. So those are fun. And Les Introuvables du Ring, the French version. This had this Otto Klemperer Valkyrie Act 1 with Helga Dernisch and William Cochran and Hans Soten. So I got it for that. But you also have things with Leopold Ludwig and George Sebastian and Kirsten Flagstad and Seth Svanholm and Birgit Nielsen and all kinds of strange bits, Raphael Kubelik, Karl Böhm, all kinds of weird ring bits that never were formally released. And a big chunk of Gerda Dameron with Furtwängler and Savalish, just all kinds of stuff. It was really a fun collection. So I hung on to it. Tristan and Isolde, Kirsten Flagstad, Loritz Melchior, Covent Garden, Fritz Reiner, 1936, a classic. This is the Naxos remastering recording during performances on 18 May and 2 June, 1936. There you go. And lastly, Halle Wagner, Goethe Dameron with Mark Elder. Some people love this. So they really do. Mark Elder's a very good opera conductor. The conducting is great, and the performances are pretty good. There's some good stuff in here. So I kept it. Okay. Well, that fit just perfectly. Yeah, that's really good. All right, we're in business. Next pile. Next row. Oh, yes. This is just marvelous, but it came out in a smaller box. So I kept these anyway. The Hyperion Keilberth Complete Wagner, 1955, in really good stereo, early stereo, but good stereo, with stage noises and people clomping around. It's amazing. It's with Astrid Varnay, Wolfgang Wingassen, Joseph Greindl, Hermann Ude, and people like that. Hans Hodder, Gustav Neidlinger, Ludwig Weber, and Gray Bruvenstein, and Ramon Vinet. It's just Wolfgang Wingassen. I said him already. Yeah, one of the great rings ever. Great live ring. This is when Decca was experimenting with sound, and they recorded it in stereo, but they never released it. But Testament got it released. Now, these are, these are the individual boxes, but they also released them all in a single box. And I have the single box upstairs. It's just easier to get into. But I kept those. I'm keeping those because that's really sort of major stuff. So you should never, ever, ever, ever get rid of your Keilberth ring. Not the big views with the Kemper ring. The K conductors did a lot of Wagner and Bayreuth. And so there's Clemens Krauss, who's not a K conductor. There's Krauss. He's a K conductor. Krauss, right? It's Krauss, Keilberth, Kemper. Oh, dear. Flying Dutchman on Naxos with Pinkus Steinberg and Alfred Muff and Ingrid Haubold and Eric Knut and Peter Seifert. It's not a bad one. It's nice to have. I just got it because if I need to use samples of something in one of my videos, I could use Naxos. So I wanted to have it. Oh, here's the 51 Knappertsbusch Parsifal, which everybody needs to have. If you're a Parsifalian, which I'm not, but I need to have it because I need to be able to say that I've heard it, and I have many times. It's a little bit better, actually, than his Philips remake, I think, the stereo one. But, it's 6 in one, a half dozen in the other. You know what I mean? The other Karajan Meistersinger, this is Bayreuth Festival 51. It's falling apart here. So I keep it there so that its glue doesn't come undone. Oh, yes. Here is the Furtwängler La Scala Ring. 12 CD set, new remastering from the original tapes with state-of-the-art technology. Still sounds like crap. Don't let anyone fool you. This strange label was Gebhardt Media. And it was very, very cheap. It cost they pay you. So it was a very, very good deal. Some more Wagner orchestral music. Klaus Tenstedt, very nice to have. Donald Runicles, it's very good. It was the Staatskapelle Dresden, that's why I got it. Let's see, Herbert von Karajan stuff. Knappertsbusch and Birgit Nielsen, this classic Decca recital with the Tristan and Isolde, prelude and Liebestod and stuff like that, and Goethe Jammerung excerpts, and fun stuff. So that's there. And we're getting to the end, folks. We're really getting there, so just hang in there. Hang on. We have the Schulte Parsifal. This I have principally for Christa Ludwig, actually, because I think she's an absolutely fabulous kundry, and she damaged her vocal cords shrieking in this. And she had to take some serious time off because of it. It's a good Parsifal. What is this? The Paul Paret and Detroit Symphony. Oh, this was Sound Dynamics Associates, remastered for Mercury Monos. Well, now all that stuff's available. But back in the day, you had to get pirate editions that people would make CDs for you and send them to you. And that's one of them. It's a nice little memento of times gone by, isn't it? The Kubelik Lohengrin. Kubelik was a marvelous Wagner conductor. Just fantastic. I have his other stuff upstairs, his Parsifal and his Meistersinger. That's what it was, right? With Ritterbusch, James King, Gundula Janowitz, Thomas Stewart, Gwyneth Jones, Gert Niedstedt. It's really, really good. Kubelik knew his Wagner beautifully. Now, what's this? Clemens Krauss. This is the Clemens Krauss 1953 Bayreuth Ring. This is an Opera d'Oro thing from Allegro. And, it's famous. Let's just leave it at that, shall we? All right, let's see. What do we got here? But Beecham conducts Wagner. Well, that's fun. That's always fun. Claudio Abbado conducts Wagner. I mean, sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not. Nimi Yarvi does Wagner. Tristan and Isolde, an orchestral passion. And the overture to Die Fein and Das Liebesverbot. Well, those were nice to have. That's why you get that. Organ transcriptions with Thomas Trotter. This is on Musical Heritage Society. I love organ transcriptions of this stuff, actually. I really do. And they were very helpful in researching vibrato technique because the transcribers often indicated when to use tremolo and vox humana stops, which have vibrato. Yep. Back in the day. Tannhäuser Without Words, Lauren Mazel on Sony. The Metropolitan Opera Orchestra under Berislav Klobuchar. Valkyra from 1968 with John Vickers, Leni Rieseneck, Carl Ritterbusch, Thomas Stewart, Birgit Nielsen, and Christa Ludwig. Whew. Whoa, baby. That is a singer's Valkyra. It really is. Okay, it goes there. Right. We're on sort of almost the last row, I think. Sort of, kind of. Okay, Wagner. This is the same Mengelberg one. I had two of them. It happens. Who knew? This is the Leinsdorf Lohengrin, the famous one that RCA spent a fortune on. It drove them crazy and destroyed their love of classical music. Some of you pointed out, well, they kept making Reiner or Leinsdorf records just as usual after this. Well, yes, they did, but they weren't happy, and they got out of it. They had commitments. They finished their commitments. They had stuff in the can, Anyway. Sandor Konya, Lucine Amara, William Dooley, Rita Gore is a great orchard. Yeah. Jerome Hines, Calvin Marsh. It's a wonderful Lohengrin. And it's a complete Wagner opera with Boston Symphony. Also worth having, just like the Staatskapelle Dresden. The Kempe Lohengrin, the reference recording for Lohengrins. It always has been, with Jess Thomas, Elizabeth Grimmer, Christa Ludwig, Fischer Dieskau, Gottlob Frick, Otto Wiener. I mean, what's not to love? There you go. The Flying Dutchman with Klemperer, the reference recording in that, with Anya Sillier and Theo Adam and Marty Talvala. Just fabulous. Absolutely. And it's the original version. It doesn't have the transfigured ending with the little tinkly harps and things. It's like, who cares about these people anyway? Right? I sure as hell don't. Oh, look, Wagner, Lohengrin with Kubelik. That's another one. I did get a couple of these. I didn't buy them. Somehow I acquired them. And so I stuck them, here in the Overflow room because they're Overflow. Here's the Leinsdorf Valkyrie with Birgit Nielsen and great Bruvenstein and David Ward and George London and Birgit Nielsen and Rita Gore and Marie Collier. And it's phenomenal. It's better than the Schulte. Don't tell anyone. Great. Absolutely great. Here's the Wagner Act 3 again. How can I have multiples of that? I don't even know. I really don't know. Wagner, Tannhäuser with Konvichny, and the Staatsoper Berlin with Gottlob Frick and Hans Hopf and Fischer Dieskau and Fritz Wunderlich. Yeah, it's worth having Fritz Wunderlich. You want to get all the great singers doing these things, and so you get them, and then they just sit around and you never play them, or some of them you do. Meistersinger, Rudolf Kempe. Yay, the Kempe Meistersinger. This is wonderful. Ferdinand Franz, Gottlob Frick, Horst Wilhelm, Walter Stoll, here we go again, Gustav Neilinger, Manfred Schmidt, who's Eva? We only care. Elizabeth Grumer, yeah, okay, fine. Are you getting tired of this? I know I am. Another Meistersinger, Fritz Reiner, recorded in 1955. Yeah, we get it because it's Fritz Reiner, right? With Paul Schiffler and Gottlob Frick and Eberhard Wechter and, all the usual people. And we know who they are. What's this? Dedicated to the 200th anniversary of the birth of Richard Wagner. Oh, I haven't even opened this. I just got it and stuffed it away. This is the Melodia Wagner tribute that I got because it had Mravinsky, Svetlanov, Andrei Chistiakov, Rozhdestvensky, David Oistrakh, and Alexander Dmitriev. Don't ask me to go through it. Someday I'll listen to it and we'll talk about it. Especially now that Melodia is sort of, who knows, maybe I should hang on to that and give it a whirl. We'll do something with it. Wagner Symphonic Spectaculars, opera without words. The Vienna Symphony Orchestra with Yuri Aronovich, the Sofia Philharmonic with Emil Tabakov, the Budapest Symphony with Georgi Lehel. Yeah, it's Wagner from the third world, or third something or other. And then we're on the last pile here, more or less. Let me see. What's this? Oh, yes, okay. Oh, there are more Wagners. Well, we'll do the other ones later. Let's finish the Richard Wagners, all right? And then we're done. Okay, Symphonic Syntheses by Stokowski with Jose Cerebrier. These are wonderful. Bournemouth Symphony, almost as good as Stokey himself on Naxos. This is a great series. All of those, Stokowski transcription discs that Cerebrier did, they're just great. An Introduction to the Ring. This was that thing that came with the box, with the discs, the LPs that John Culshaw did, narrated by Derek Cook. You keep this forever because it's really, really handy. You get all the musical examples and, all of that stuff that was just vital. Tristan with Vingas and Greindl, Birgit Nielsen, Fritz Uhl, and people like this. In this case, Fritz Uhl is Merlot. He's not doing Tristan as he did in the Schulte Tristan, where he was sort of overparted. This is with Savalish, who's a not thrilling conductor in this stuff, but it's okay. And we have, this is the live Klemperer Flying Dutchman, which is the same as the studio Flying Dutchman, more or less. Only some people say it's better because it's live. I'm not so sure, but it's very good. Oh, yes, Paul Perret, Detroit. Remember the stuff I got in mono? Well, here's the stereo Wagner stuff. He was a great Wagner conductor, fast and exciting and no nonsense. And we've talked about it, the Perret box. So that's Mercury Living Presence. And last. Oh my God, is it really last? It is. Last but not least, not at all, is this, the Knappertsbusch Götterdämmerung. This is in mono. It's on Testament. It's very, very, very good. It's one of his best Wagner things from 1951, Bayreuth Festival Live with Astrid Varnay and Elizabeth Hungen and Hermann Ude and Bernd Aldenhoff. And people like that. Elizabeth Schwarzkopf is Voglinda. There you go. And Martha Moodle is in there. Ludwig Weber is in there. And Ira Milani, you remember her? She's the second Norn. So look, everyone has their Knappertsbusch things too. I've got a Knappertsbusch box up there. Anyway, I don't have the Knappertsbusch 48-disc Parsifal set that has a dozen Parsifals in it. No. But this is his sort of one of his iconic Götterdämmerungen, and so that goes there. It's on Testament, and I just kept it because we should have it. And that's Wagner. Can you believe it? That's a lot of Wagner. And I'm not even a Wagner fan. I'm not a Wagner collector. But there it is. That's a lot of time I've spent in my life to be able to, still question the virtue, the value of all of that. But that's okay. Wagner was a genius. His music is great. The stuff is terrific. Some of the greatest artists of the universe have been performing it. I can't argue. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.